This forum does not reflect the official opinion of the Corn Mafia Guild. Rather, it serves as a platform for members and guests to express their individual perspectives and opinions. We hope to create an environment where a variety of topics and conversations can take place, ultimately enriching the experience of our members and guests. We value and respect diverse opinions, and we encourage all to engage in respectful discourse.
Wow, that was interesting. How are you today?
What, did you have a little trouble in the startup again?
No. How did it go? It went pretty good though, right?
It went good. Yeah, I was going to say it was all good on this end.
I'm getting it down packed, man. I'm making sure all my levels are up and my Bluetooth is connected. I have to connect my Bluetooth on my phone after I start the Twitter space, not before. Else it won't
That's
connect.
the key.
That is the key.
Nice.
Because I tried that. Oh, yeah, man.
Well, awesome, man. Yeah, good morning to you. How are you doing today, Stein?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm excited about a bunch of things. I'm doing a bunch of things on my own, like I said last week, getting my studio ready, taking a little time off from all the hectic stuff in the guild in Cornucopias, just for a little bit. I'm still on my hiatus. I'm still there. I'm still around, but you know.
It's funny that, I mean, it's good that you're enjoying yourself and you enjoy what you're doing, but a lot of people wouldn't consider, building a studio and doing the project that you're doing a vacation. But, like I said, glad that you enjoy it. Well, you got a lot to do, man. You got a lot going on.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's fun doing that stuff. I enjoy
for sure, especially when you're doing it for yourself, not as a job, right?
Yeah, building. I don't know. You used to do construction, and you still do. But to me, building things is easy. It's fun. I enjoy doing it, like building walls and putting sheetrock and mudding them and all that stuff. It's fun. I'm going to lay down a new floor. Putting a new laminate floor and all that stuff. But that's all. That's all my stuff. I'm actually going to make a video of me doing it, or a montage of me doing it, whatever. So,
nice.
So
very cool.
Have some before and after. Yeah, I was talking with Alex from Take One Tech, and he was like, "Oh, you gotta do a video, or at least take photos and make a video of it." So I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, you really should. There comes a point when you're like a content creator like that where you almost think about doing that with a lot of things. Like when I built my acoustic panels for my room, I kind of set up my camera and filmed some of it and thought about putting it together in a video, but I still haven't actually got around to editing any of that. And then again, last night I was making these, remaking, because they were in bad shape, these lights that I'd made, and you'll see them in the background of my stream soon. But instead of spending like $300 on these lights, I spent $50 to make two of them. And they turned out really fantastic last night. And I was like, man, I should have filmed this, because it would make it would make a good video, I think. But
yeah, well, that's one of my favorite things to watch on YouTube is people building stuff.
Yeah, how-tos like that, man.
That's why I built that workshop in the basement. So whenever I have a project, I have no problem just saying, I am going to take a little of my time. People think woodworking or doing things is fast, but it's like totally opposite. It's because you always see it on YouTube. It's like, oh, wow, this guy built that really fast. But when you're doing it in real life, it's like, okay, I'm going to put this one piece of wood up against this piece of wood, and I got to glue it. Now I got to wait till tomorrow before I can do anything with it, So it's just like, you think you see a project on YouTube, and it usually takes them about a week or longer to even make something. So, but it's pretty cool. But today we're going to be talking about racing in cornucopias. So that's exciting.
Yeah, that's very exciting, man. We haven't got an official update yet, but I imagine there might be something in this week's Cornucopias Copy Cafe episode. I'm hoping at least. But I mean, last I checked, we should be something like less than 30 days till release.
Yeah.
Somebody feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I mean, that's pretty exciting to me. It's getting real, It is. It is getting real.
Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to be playing the game. Everybody says I'm a fool not to play, but I got a lot of things on my plate, and to play games right now, it's kind of out of the question. But
I get that, but you're not like a daily games player anyways, right? You know, it's
I
not
used
something you
to.
would typically do.
I used
Oh,
to.
really?
Yeah, I used to play every.
How long has it been since you
2 years.
did that?
I,
Just a couple years?
2 years. Yeah, I played every single day for 15 years. So.
Okay. Well,
You know.
so what is it? Is it just that the game's not that appealing yet? That it's just the racing? Are you not that much of a racer?
Well, I have Apple
Are you
computers.
more of a shooter game?
I have Apple computers, and that means I don't have enough money to get a PC right now. So,
I got you. So you're kind of locked out of it at the moment.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll play in the future?
I don't know because I get addicted to games. You know, it's like I used to play Call of Duty and Battlefield, and I would be playing this thing for 4 or 5 hours, and then I would end up playing all night long. But I guess it's no different than me watching movies and YouTube for 4 hours at night. You know?
I guess, man. I don't think there's anything wrong with being like our homie Seven here and being addicted to corn.
Corn, addicted to corn. Everybody in America is addicted to corn syrup.
I don't think that was the tempo.
Everybody in America.
Somebody please play the track "Addicted to Corn" by Seven.
Right. Oh yeah, Seven is here today. Well, don't say his name. He's gonna go away. Don't say his name.
I already said it twice, and then you said it the third time, so we're screwed. But I'm really excited to play the game. I definitely plan to test it and play it. And of course, I'm even more excited for the full release in the future. But just for now, I think it'll be fun to get started with something.
Well, I think once Seven ducked out. Look at him. He ducked out. He ducked out, man. I can't believe it. The racing game really, to truthfully honest with me, there he is. Ha ha ha. The racing game to me is not. I never liked racing games. I never played like Forenza or whatever that was. I never liked those games. Forza, is that what it was called? I never played those games. I didn't enjoy them. I had I had them on Xbox and stuff, and I never played them. I was more of a first person shooter game kind of person, or one who likes to play like games where you have to like Myst and those kind of games where you have to like unlock things to move around the map and all that kind of stuff. Like Zelda. And things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would say I'm much the same. My first love for a video game was Ocarina of Time. I love the Zelda franchise, so I love those style of games, puzzle solvers and stuff like that. But I also like the first person shooters. I'm not a huge racer either, but I'm still excited for this one. I do enjoy racing games, but one thing that's going to be interesting is and I don't know, how soon they're going to roll this out, but obviously it's coming in the future, the esports side of things. So that's a chance to get competitive and kind of feed that, part of your brain that enjoys unlocking and upgrading and moving forward and things like that. So
well, you got to understand,
it'll be really interesting to see what they roll out.
I'm an old man and my reflexes are not as what they used to be. See, that's why I used to play League of Legends all the time. And then I was like, man, I can't, I had to stop. I was like, Jesus, man, I can't do these combos. I don't know how they're doing these combos so quick.
Yeah, can't keep up with the competitive players.
Yeah, because I played it and I was really good, and then I found that after 9 years of playing League or whatever it was, or how many, because I played it like the first year it came out, and I can't remember how long I played it. I think it was 9 years, something. I don't know, some crazy thing. I would play it. I'd play League of Legends, even when I had my business. I would play ARAM games, all random, all middle. And those were only 15 to 20 minutes long, or 20 minutes long, I think you could time out. So they went from 20 to 25 minutes. So I would play 2 games right in a row. And that was it for my whole day. That was it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my buddy down in Texas, we get on every single day and play just 2 games, and that was it. And we'd say goodbye, and But it is a good way to meet people. I mean, I met my friend down in Dallas, who I talk to still every weekend. I talk to him, and I just talked to him last weekend. I've talked to him every weekend. We met playing Call of Duty, and then we met in real life just once. But this was 15 years ago, so I've known him for 15 years, and we still talk to this day. So gaming is a really good way to meet people, and you can actually make real friends in real life. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I mean, I guess we don't have the game yet, but yeah, much the same with us and so many people in here, right? I mean, we met a lot of these people, or at least a few of them that I can see in here right now at CNFTCon live in person. And, you know, a lot of these people I talk to on a regular basis. You and Seven I talk to outside Discord and just regular events all the time. It was really great. In fact, this morning before this talk, before this space, we were all three on a phone call, and it was great.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can definitely form and forge real friendships in gaming communities like this. And I think it's only going to get even better and even bigger when we get the actual game in our hands and we've got more to play. The community did a really great job just kind of rallying around other games, even like we were all playing, what was that, Fall Guys and stuff like that. So
yeah,
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and then they did the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, I believe it was, or something like that. Or
I didn't get in on that one, but yeah, I hope they bring that back because now I'm playing Call of Duty again sometimes. So,
well, I loved Call of Duty. That was my favorite game. Just rushing and getting different kits and things like that.
When the battle bunkers come out, I'm gonna be so excited. I know I mentioned it before, but I got a small Mythic Dome specifically for PvP arena later down the line. So I'm really excited for the PvP side. But yeah, this is racing now. We're talking racing today.
Well, we're talking racing in games. You know, we have Kef is in here. Kef is a big gamer. So
yeah, Kef, you're probably planning on streaming the game when it comes out, right?
Yeah. So maybe we should get him up here to talk.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to come up to talk,
up there, buddy.
If anybody wants to come up to talk, raise your hand and we'll pull you on up. Else you're just going to listen to me and Fryler talk about. Well, I'm going to eventually get into talking about cooking if nobody else comes up, because
no. Wait. We got stuff.
I'm going to run out of stuff to say.
So one thing I want to ask real quick about people when it comes to the racing, because I've got a few different vehicles. I've got a collection. I don't know if I should be racing my Mythic vehicle to flex it, and like look cool on stream. I don't know. Or should I be keeping that thing cherry? Because they've kind of talked back and forth like, oh, maybe if you have a prestigious car that has prestigious titles, I don't know, man.
Well, I think if you're going to look at it like professional racing, like this car won Le Mans, if you have a car like that, then, or a vehicle like that in real life, then that would be worth a lot more money. But if you have,
is that going to translate in game though?
But if you have a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, or let's say a Ferrari, okay, so you have a Ferrari and you take it out on a course and you beat the shit out of it, right? And it's not going to be worth as much as that car that you kept inside and only drove it, a couple miles on the weekend. So
right, that's what I'm thinking.
Unless you're going to win races, I wouldn't pull out the Mythic until you're. I mean, Christ, I don't know.
At the finals.
Yeah, I don't know if I would. Yeah, I don't even know if I would take that Mythic out. I mean, if you put miles on, I don't know. It might not even be worth it. They might not even care. People might not even care. I mean, I don't know how the mechanism of the game. Might. Well, it's an NFT, and it's not like it's ruined or anything. It'll still be workable unless they put some kind of mechanics and physics into the game where, oh, my Mythic, I got 50,000 kilometers on this Mythic. Now it just doesn't run anymore. I don't think they're going to do that. They might, but I think that's a lot to ask. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be interesting. I'm kind of leaning before I kick it off to Scruffy, keeping it in the garage, because if I was out buying one, I would probably care more about one that's never been used versus one that had any sort of associated title, especially if they implement stuff like that, like more maintenance down the line, like maybe, I don't know.
Well, I have an idea. I have an idea for you. If you think that maybe a possibility, or you're on the fence to it, I can give you my ADA address, and you can send that Mythic over to me, and I'll hold on to it for you. And then
just take the temptation away.
Yeah, just take the temptation away, And then if you don't hear from me for a couple of years, and then next time you'll see me, it'll be worth $1 million.
Yeah, great, man. Here, I'll send you my whole seed phrase. You keep everything safe for me.
No, I don't need all of the seed phrase. Just a Mythic. Just a Mythic. Just to cure up my acne.
Gotcha. The guy that doesn't want to race at all.
Well, see, I won't be racing, so it'll be great, right? It'll be
Oh yeah, I guess I just proved your point, huh? It'll be safe.
yeah. So, what's going on, Scruffalufficus?
Well, I wanted to chime in mainly to make sure we don't have to hear you talking about cooking. No, I'm just kidding. But no. You guys were talking about this, and none of us really know, right? So at this point, it's all speculation. But I believe they mentioned something about being able to fix your vehicle when it takes damage and things like that. So I'm initially thinking that I am going to race with my most precious vehicle. Like you said, they talked about transferring the metadata on how many races you've run, maybe records that you set and things like that. And I do think that it'll be more desirable out there. Anytime something is rare in the NFT world, if everybody's, got, I don't know, maybe 1,000 races under their belt and one vehicle's won, 10 races, and then there's a vehicle out there that's won 200, somebody will covet that. Now, it's kind of counterproductive to what I think. Like, I don't care about the aesthetics or the number. I care about the performance. Is it going to help me race better? And based on everything I've heard, no. A vehicle with a whole bunch of wins is not going to make you race better. But some people out there will want to be seen as a top racer, whether they are or not, and purchase vehicles, I believe, with great racing stats on them. So, yeah, that's my thought.
I hadn't thought of it from that perspective. So, Scruffy, what's your most prized vehicle? Is my first question.
It's close. I'd say it's a tie. I do have a mythic regular bubble jet, and I have a legendary OG bubble jet.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, dude, that's a tough one. Yeah, those are both really nice, very rare vehicles. I would think that the legendary OG is probably more rare than the mythic. Am I wrong?
I believe it is. I hadn't looked at the numbs.
It's been a while since I looked too.
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
My next question, and I know it's all speculation at this point, but they mentioned before possibly, I think in a Cornucopia cafe, or maybe it's just hearsay and I'm remembering nothing at this point. So take this with a grain of salt. But I thought they had mentioned that it might be possible to have like better fuel mileage out of a more rare vehicle or something like that to give it, more of an edge for its rarity. Do you think that there's some possibility that there would be a competitive edge to racing a more rare vehicle?
Well, not necessarily a competitive edge, but the way I kind of viewed it based on all the information I've accumulated, I can't point to any one source, but I believed that they were going to have different racing tiers, right? Okay.
Oh, that's right.
First of all, we know they're going to have classes, right? And certain vehicles are going to fit in certain classes: A class, B class, C class, F class, and so on and so forth. And so within those classes, I believe they will have, common, uncommon, rare, legendary, and mythic races. And my guess is that the payouts for the higher rarity will be greater. And in fact, again, this is just speculation, but I would not be surprised if it was something in line with the staking rewards, how it gets exponentially higher the further you move up to the rarity. So maybe a common versus an uncommon is a 20 or 30% increase. But once you get between legendary and rare, you gain 75% increase between the pot levels, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Purse levels.
Yeah. I had put a lot of thought into different racing teams. Have you guys thought about that? I was thinking, how I was watching. Obviously, I was watching Ted Lasso, but then I was watching the other one. I don't know a lot about European football, but then I was watching that Ryan Reynolds documentary about Wrexham. I think if you had a racing leagues should be like they do over on like they do football leagues. Like you start off racing, and then you move up into a bigger and bigger league. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, it's different from, because you can actually go back down. It's kind of like America. It's kind of like, baseball here, how you can go from different leagues and work your way up. I don't know.
I think that's a good idea, possibly for the Mafia racing team, right? You start out kind of at the bottom, and depending on how well you do, you either move up or down, and you can get into those, higher class races. I think that's a great idea.
Right, but I was, I was also thinking about, different. Like, okay, say you want to build your own racing team, but you want to get some of the best players to be on your racing team. I think this is where real money will come involved. Like, okay, say somebody, okay, say Scruffy makes Scruffy's racing league, and he's doing okay, but then he sees, Empire from the Knights is doing really well, and so he recruits Empire to still be a knight, but Scruffy starts his own racing league. So now Empire is working with Scruffy to build up his racing league for real money and real cash.
Well, and I think you bring up a very important point. We don't know how the league is going to develop, right? Is that going to be something, is Cornucopias, they show their graphic as Cornucopias Racing League. They've already got the branding and stuff for that. So are they going to build a league and have the championships in there and structure everything as far as placement and all of that good stuff? I believe in time they will. I think it'll take a little while. And I think that like kind of mini leagues will probably pop up before then, like you're suggesting. A person says, hey, maybe I'm a streamer, and, once a week we want to have league races, or 2 or 3 times a week we want to have league races. And if you want to be in the league, come sign up, and you do heats and stuff like that. But eventually I think it'll be run through the game. Another point about the money that you touched on, my guess is we won't have racing for money in the very, very beginning. I could be wrong, but I don't know that they have all the economics worked out yet. It may just be for high score for a period of time. Now, they may have, game nights, or they may have championship races ever so often for NFTs and things like that. But racing for gold, I think is maybe a little further down the line. But I think it's very important, because I think people will be very content for racing for top score for a while. I don't know if that's a week, a month, a year, how long, but eventually you want that ability to earn income doing it.
I think it's probably going to go the way of sportsbook. I think that's going to be a big part of racing in the metaverse and gaming in the metaverse, where you have a lot on the line. You're going to find that people are going to start booking and bookmaking. If people don't know, that's gambling, bookmaking. So you'll have a side gambling.
Could not agree more.
I think that's going to be a big thing. I mean, all the stats, because you're going to have all the stats for all the races. They're going to be right there for everybody to see. It's going to be baked right in, So it's not like you're going to have to go dig around for this stuff. All the stats are going to be there for all the players. So all you have to do is, you could ask, Chat GPT, or, who is the best, what's the odds of this person winning? And then you can just start a sports book on the odds, just like horse racing or any other kind of racing. So
I agree 1,000%. I think that's going to be a big deal. But I think that's going to take time, because that data, while it will be presented to us on the screen, to be able to search and parse it, to be able to turn an AI to it, they need to create an API. Essentially some way for us to get the information out of the game into.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Yeah. something else. So again, and I got news. I just looked. I've been working with this streaming software that helps you auto create the best of clips in your gaming experience. And it reads the text on the screen. You tell it what to look for, and it reads the text. So a tool like that may be able to help expedite the process of grabbing all of that data and batch processing it, and then doing exactly what you're talking about. So we may see that sooner rather than later.
Well, I hope I think it's going to come in really quickly. Not too quickly, because it's going to be like, oh well, there's no sense of, like you're saying, there's no sense of betting on anybody because we don't know the percentages. We don't know. I mean, if you're going to be betting, it'll have to be a 50-50 bet kind of thing. Like, I'll give you a 2-1 on this guy winning, like a boxing match, because there's no stats to go through or stats to go by. It'd be like, I'll bet you $10 that Scruffy wins. That kind of thing. And I think that's going to be coming up because people will start starting bookmaking, and they'll work with Ada or Kopi or whatever, and it's all on the blockchain, so it's not like it's going to be, I don't know, I don't think it's going to be frowned upon very much. There's already casinos in other
whether it's frowned upon or not, I don't think they can stop it.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That's what I think it really boils down to. There's no, policing it would be a nightmare.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then there's going to be big businesses brought up with these games. If this game, Cornucopias, takes off like a rocket and goes for years, then there's going to be big businesses being built up around gaming and betting on games, and people spending real capital purchasing the best racers with the best vehicles from all around. That's just like what they do in any kind of sporting event, any kind of esports. Let's get these 5 guys together or girls, for 5 people. Let's get these 5 people together and build a team, because now we're going to do our esports thing just like League of Legends or any of those places that do these big, massive esports tournaments. So let's hope it gets that big. That would be fun. That'd be really fun.
Wouldn't that be crazy, man? Could you imagine when we were in that call earlier with Seven, he was kind of vision casting a little bit too, and I get so excited when I talk to somebody else that sees the full vision too, because it's one thing to go off on a tangent yourself to your loved ones about what Cornucopias is doing and everything that they're trying to build here, but to hear someone else articulate your thoughts, it's just really reassuring. And so it's really great to see. But one thing I was laughing about is, did you see that CSGO skin just sold for like $400,000 or something like that? So these are the people that don't even believe in NFTs as like a use case or anything like that. And they're over here trading skins for almost $500,000,
Yeah.
So yeah, just imagine when Cornucopias does have its day in the sun, because like Seven mentioned earlier, I mean, we're building something really unique here, something really different that, I don't think's been really seen before. So we're a AAA quality game. We're going to be play and earn. We're bringing esports together, and just their overall vision, the way that they want to build their metaverse, to make it accessible to everyone, to make it so easy for everyone to build, to really empower the players, and just everything about their scope and their vision. You know what I mean? It's so exciting. So
I'm hoping that, we got these cheeky crypto racing suits, and they're not really, really massively expensive, but there's only a limited supply, right? So plus they have something built in where you can go over to cheeky crypto. A year or 2 from now, everybody's going to suck up all those racing suits because they're a unique item, So if you're going to be racing, you're going to want a racing suit, whether you make it yourself or whatever, however it's going to be made. But these cheeky crypto ones, those might be worth a pretty penny come a year or 2 after the racing starts and you get these big leagues going. I'm lucky I got the legendary one, so maybe that'll be worth some capital. I'm always looking at the dollar.
I think I think all these early NFTs for Cornucopias are going to appreciate in value quite well. That's just my opinion. I think the Kopi token is going to appreciate to an even greater degree. That's just my opinion again. But yeah, I think that they're all going to appreciate in value. They're so undervalued at the moment. If we look at like land and stuff historically, what they've sold for in these other metaverse projects that, in my opinion, don't hold a candle to Cornucopias, then the land's extremely undervalued. Plus, we have a more staking coming in the future. You know what I mean? So, there's just so much to be had. And then, like you mentioned, the utility of the Cheeky Crypto Racer suit itself, I think is also just incredibly undervalued. People are looking right past that membership that you get. Back when I looked, because I was pricing, what the suit cost, and I was interested in getting into that. What is it? What did they call that hedge fund that Cheeky Crypto is involved with that the suit gets you access to? So I didn't even invest in their seed round at the time because I didn't have money. But in any case, I was looking into what it would take to get membership. And I think the other NFT for membership was like 500 ADA at the time. So here you get a dual purpose NFT that gives you the same benefits as another NFT that had a 500 ADA floor. And like Rob mentioned in Cornucopias, they could give added benefits to the game besides looking cool. Like it might help you handle G-forces better so you don't pass out or whatever it was he alluded to. So there's just so much going on with all these different NFTs.
Well, if you look at the price at Kopi, say you took say you were like last year, before Christmas, last fall, August, September, whatever. If you had put $5,000, well, let's make it 10. You put $10,000 into Kopi, you'd have like $45,000 or $43,000 now, and that's not even a year, right?
Yeah, because it got down to almost a cent, or maybe it dipped that low, but
right, it was like 1.1 or 1.2 cents or something like that. Now it's up to, what is it up to? Let me see. It's up to 43 cents, and it got up to 45 a little while ago. So
the 4.5, but one of the biggest fumbles of my crypto career will forever be fumbling my initial Kopi bag, because I was buying as low as 1.2, and I'll never see that entry price again, I don't think. But it's still an excellent entry point right now. I just got to remind myself that. But
I was going to say, I've been following Kopi like a hawk for a long time, both personally and for the DAOs and things like that. And you guys are exactly right. It's 4x'd since in the last less than 6 months. But Freiler, you are 1,000% correct. You look at all these other projects, any of these other metaverse projects, any of these other, play to earn projects. And I know they want to be play and earn or play whatever. Same thing. But they have had ridiculous. Just go pull up a chart. Crypto Crow did a great video on it. I don't know, 6-9 months ago, and all of those had similar market caps, had similar supplies, and were at the time around 2 or 3 cents. Again, we're not that crazy far up from that, but I mean they went to $7, $12, $100, and I think the sky is the limit, on this one over the next few bull cycles. So again, not financial advice, do your own research, but there's opportunity everywhere in Cornucopias. And technically, I still believe that we're technically still in the bear, but we're in what I like to call the pre-bull, in my opinion. And the time is drawing nigh. Yeah.
Come on now.
Eventually, pretty soon, we're going to see it. I mean, we've already seen it go a little bit nuts, but man, future looks bright for everything Cornucopias.
All right, let's
yeah, absolutely.
I want to talk to you guys about now they're going to be doing the skinning of the racing. I'm going to try to stay on racing at least for an hour today. They talk about skinning for racing, and I know that we want to be able to put Corn Mafia Guild on different racing badges and stuff like that. Do you have any great ideas about what you may want to skin your racer with? And if so,
like the vehicle wraps?
Yeah, the vehicle wraps. Yeah, the skinning. Yeah, the wraps. Because
real quick,
I will actually probably. I don't know. Maybe I can make some money making wraps for people. If
Yeah, definitely,
if they
man.
come
Just
out
like
with-
Seven does.
you know.
Oh, vehicle wraps.
Yeah, wraps.
but
But
You know,
gotcha.
Whaps.
So,
Whaps.
so
Wraps.
to take your question and then just run in the complete opposite direction with it real quick.
Nice, thanks.
I don't have any great ideas, so I'll just answer your question real quick and then ask a question around. So the wraps, that's one thing that made me really believe that they're going to have to follow through with that, adding in something else for vehicle rarities, right? Because right now, currently, the mythic bubble jet is just pink. There's nothing else to differentiate it. So if you put a wrap on there, then, I mean,
yeah, but
essentially being able to change the aesthetics of the vehicle would negate rarity unless
no,
they add more to it.
I don't think so. It's like it's like wrapping a race car, or wrapping anything. It can be removed. It's not permanent.
Yeah, if you wrap a Lamborghini, it's still a Lamborghini underneath. If you wrap a Dodge Dart, it's still a Dodge Dart underneath.
Well,
and
but those vehicles look different from each other, so it's kind of apples to oranges.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
I hear
but
you.
people
you can
wrap
see
their,
the paint coming through.
Right, people wrap their Lamborghinis all the time now because they don't want to chip the paint. So wrapping,
Well, first of all, did anybody see the pictures that they tweeted out the other day? They threw out a couple of new UE5 images of the vehicles on Twitter. They didn't even say it was UE5, but I could tell just by looking at it. They had a Mythic, and then they had, I believe it was a common OG.
So does anybody else notice that it seemed to pop way more, that green on the common? It went from like a matte green to like a lime green.
Yep. I think they changed the color slightly too.
It was on Cornucopias Twitter?
Yes, it was. And they've got a Mythic bubble jet, and I believe it's an OG common, the green one. But I was looking, like I was zooming in and checking out on all the detail of the tailpipes and the headlights, and you can see all the instruments inside. It was just really, really cool to see the updated UE5 version, because we're so used to looking like in our wallet or on the website, and we see kind of the older pictures, which looked phenomenal. But now they just take it up another notch and made me super, super excited.
Dude, speaking along those same lines, the Bonanza.
Yeah, what's going on?
I am really freaking excited for it. I thought that looked really cool. And then that confirms to me, because everyone's been wondering for the longest time what the next OG vehicle might be. And we know the name now, right? It was going to be the OG Bubble Jet Bonanza.
Yep.
And so I was wondering what's it going to look like. But everyone was wondering before, is it going to be like an OG Javelin version? And it's kind of going to be like that. And it's going to be S tier.
Yep.
Oh, man, I'm so freaking excited for the OG Bonanza and for the regular Bonanza. But, man.
Did you say S tier? I believe it was going to be F tier. No, I'm sorry. You're right. S tier. A tier, yeah. S tier is generally the top tier.
The top of the top.
So it should be the fastest vehicle out there.
Yep. That's my takeaway.
And yes, that made me super excited for it as well. And just to recap, I asked that question when OG meant.
Yeah, when.
and Kopi Cafe, Josh replied, and again, this can always change, but he felt like it would be probably 2 or 3 weeks after the racing launch.
No way.
They want to allow some people to be racing the previous gen vehicles, if you will. But yeah, probably 2 or 3 weeks after racing while the fever pitch is still going.
That is the best news I've heard in a while. That's super exciting.
I want my OG. I want my OG.
Damn right.
Diane, you're not racing.
I don't care. I don't care. I may race. You don't know. You don't know what I'm doing, man.
Hey, it's look, whether you want to race or not, if you're an OG, it's a great investment. I was surprised that last time how few people minted their OGs. It's a free NFT. Like,
they're kicking themselves now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even. You've got a lottery ticket. Maybe you get a mythic. Maybe you get a legendary. But there's monetary value, even if you're not going to play the game or if you don't care about stuff. I mean, geez.
I still want it, right? I still have all the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
the original.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he referred to it like a lottery ticket. I'm like, even the original OG Bubble Jet is like a 1600 ADA floor all the time, like
Right.
and higher than that sometimes. So
And I didn't get one.
that's 8 times the floor of a common Bubble Jet
For free.
For free.
for free.
For free.
Crazy. And last time they had the OG mint open for like a week. Like, this is not something that you had to be there for and get in the first 20 minutes, something like that. It was literally open for a week. And, we know that they're going to be working on the list. They're both culling and
I was going to
adding.
say there's going to be a great cull coming.
Well, they've kind of been doing it a little bit already, and they've been adding some more as well. So I think that number is still going to stay right around 900. Could dip a little, could go up a little, but yeah, again, uber rare and totally free.
Well, we have to
Yeah.
remember that the javelins were free too. So
They were.
that's
But this one again is the javelins were free because of a mess up
Right.
with a partner.
but free,
right?
free is free.
And free is free, absolutely. But my point is each year essentially, if you are in that OG category, they're saying, hey, we're going to reward you, for helping others, for being active in the community, for doing the things that help protect the game and the brand and all of that stuff. So the people that already got it, why wouldn't they mint it? But you'll see, a quarter of the people or 30% of the people, some number out there will not mint, and it's just like, what a waste. But
I agree, man. I think we will.
That'll add to the
Go
rarity.
ahead. I'm sorry. Well,
Yeah.
I was about to say it'll add to the rare. I don't know that it. Yeah, actually, it will. Last year, if they do the same thing they did last year, the unminted ones, they sent them to a wallet. And essentially, they're just not going to ever be released. It's kind of like a burn wallet. It's not technically a burn, but they're not going to release them. So yeah, go ahead.
What was I even going to say?
I can't remember.
Yeah, no, I lost it.
Scruffy squirreled me.
Scruffy
He squirreled me good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
No.
I just,
No,
I
it's
don't
all
know.
good.
I'm excited about anything that's happening in Cornucopias. I just.
Oh, I remember what it was.
Even though I'm not racing, I'm still excited about any kind of mint, any kind of anything going on that gives a little excitement to the doldrum of the bear market. But I know over
Friday
It's
here.
all
Yeah.
progress, man.
I
Yeah,
know
he's
over here-
got it. He's got it. Let
Oh,
him talk.
God damn it!
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, and we're moving past it, but I was going to say, I kind of agree with you. I think that there might be a few more minted this year, but it would be interesting to see. So right now, the OG Bubble Jets are the rarest in the collection because there's only like 800 and something. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how many of the OG Bonanzas get minted. Wouldn't it be crazy if somehow they did end up minting less and becoming the most rare vehicle?
That ain't
Well,
happening.
and remember, we've got more than twice as many members now. I think it was 18 to 20,000, something like that, when in the Discord server when they minted last year, and now we're up to 40 some odd. So, they're even if we increase the number slightly, they're not going to double the number. So it's going to be more coveted, more sought after, and they're going to be a little harder to find.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right, man.
I'm wondering what other guilds are doing. I know that it's very important for guilds to start a racing team. If not, maybe there's a few people from each guild that are just going to race and maybe not start a racing team for their guild. I don't know how other guilds are doing it. I know that we want to do something. I know we want to we're a guild. We want to do everything together. So here,
I was wondering
Mafia.
about that with the Corn Mafia's racing guild. Is it going to be bring your own vehicle, or people just racing the free vehicles, or is there going to be like Mafia owned assets? Like say the Mafia owns a mythic vehicle that if you're one of our better racers, we're going to give you this vehicle so you can go race in that tier for those rewards for us. Is anything really known about that yet?
I don't know, Tyler.
Sorry. Okay. It's under wraps.
Farley.
Apparently, what I'm now
No,
understanding
no,
is there
no.
are guild secrets.
Look,
You shut up.
I will say this. There have been discussions about exactly that. Nothing has been decided definitively. We'll see what happens, but more information coming soon. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, but we do have people that want to race
Excellent.
together in a guild. Everybody knows that, so that's
Well, and that's
just,
what it's really all about,
Right.
right? It's playing together. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Having fun,
absolutely.
And we had talked about, just like we did the poker night, we had talked about this. We're going to be opening up parts of our Discord for people that want to come in and race and talk together and have a good time, So
In fact, we've just recently opened up a new racing area on our Discord.
Yes, I saw that.
We Owl Knight is the head of the gamers department or division or work group or whatever you want to call it. And he has opened up a new area for all racers. And this is for anybody that just wants to race, that wants to talk with people, that wants to talk about racing when the racing comes out, wants to maybe join VCs or streams or things like that and play together across the board. And then later on, yes, we have designs on an actual Mafia team racing, which will be more of the kind of pro level, and folks that want to try to escalate their game to that level and join the Mafia team will be able to do so.
Yeah, I think that's going to be
Very cool, man.
I think I'm going to bring Kaz up here in a second. I think, if you want to join a team and be pro level, people may think, oh yeah, I want to join a team, but then it's going to be like, well, you got to show up here every game, everything that we're doing. So it may not be, as easy as you think it will,
Very good point. And I'm not in charge of the gaming, so I have no idea how this is going to run or anything like that. But almost every pro team has practices, right? And, unless you're, Allen Iverson, you pretty much need to show up to practice every day if you can, or, a certain amount of practices to make sure that your skills are sharp for the actual competitive matches. So, yeah, I think the cream will rise to the top. We'll see people that are really into it and doing it, every day or every, quite a bit, and have the skills as well. And I think that'll all kind of work its way out.
Yeah.
Kaz,
go ahead, man.
I see Kaz with his hand raised.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Yo, what's up?
What's up,
man?
brother?
I just wanted to say, I'm one of the founding members of the Corn Mafia Guild. I've been around for a minute now. And way back when we were just starting to introduce ourselves to each other, getting to know each other, we were, excited about playing this game together. And the fact that it's like right around the corner and that we're going to be playing this game together, like regardless of what guild or if you're in a guild or not, it's so exciting to me because we've been waiting on this forever. So I really look forward to once this game is out, all of us just gaming together, because that's been the point since day one. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other things going on, obviously. But so I'm super excited about this, and I just wanted to share, and I can't wait to see what our races are going to look like, and who's going to end up racing alongside of who and with what vehicles. It's just something that I've been anticipating for a long time.
Yeah, well, I think we all have, and let's not forget that even if you're going to be racing, right? See, this is what is the cool part about this thing, because I was thinking about, well, if I'm not, I can't race, or Mike, I'm just not interested in it or something like that. You can still get into the game, and you're going to have your avatar, right? You're going to have your avatar that you can actually start designing too. So that's well.
They've talked about no. To your point, actually, they've talked about some other things about being able to walk around,
Yeah.
maybe chop down trees, doing some fishing. I got news. I haven't done a video on it yet. I was contemplating because there wasn't a ton in there, but I almost felt like there was enough. And I don't know, maybe I'll do one today. I was thinking about doing a stream today, but there were some things in the most recent dev update. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But there's going to be other things to do to walk around. There's going to be eateries. They talked about an upgrade shop, which I did want to touch on at some point later in this space, is the upgrading of the vehicles. But let me see if I can pull up.
On that note, while you're looking for that,
yeah,
I think it's going to be it's going to be, it'll kind of be like, a test for the metaverse. Because if you're going to be interacting with people, then I know there's going to be testing of the racetrack and all this stuff. But if you're going to start letting people congregate in different areas and talk to each other and things like that, it's going to be a test on that
Agreed.
UE5 engine and all their stuff. So, you can work a lot of bugs out before it's like released the before they release all the plots of land and all that stuff. It's like, well, we this HUD display or whatever, you're being able to pull up to do things is not working correctly, and then they can work out a lot of bugs that way. Yeah, what'd you find?
Oh, go ahead, Father.
I was going to say that was something that Rob definitely talked quite a bit about in one of the more recent Kopi cafes, is how all that stuff is just going to be, testing different aspects, and all it's going to just make everything way faster on the back end later. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, definitely to your point, Stein.
I'm upset that they didn't have Kopi Cafe last weekend, but that's okay.
Okay, so I found the dev update. Sorry, I had to cough. I found the dev update, and for people that even aren't necessarily really interested in racing, some of the things that they have in here that is under the Carlito Valley Raceway, and this is just the new stuff. They've got a player/guild meeting center. I assume that's someplace to congregate, meet up with your friends, and then decide what track or wherever to go to, kind of a lobby type deal. Then they've got a Taste of Solace. They've got a Bubble Jet dealership. They've got a Valley Raceworks dealership. There's a Burger Barn where possibly, we can start to see some of the sustenance mechanics in there. They've got some new NPCs. They've got the ones we already know about: Joe, Abigail, Chad. And I can't remember if we've seen Carl or not, but they've got a new one, TE55, which is in quotation marks Tess. I would bet that that's some sort of robotic unit with a name like
some sort of AI.
Oh my God! I hope it's not like the Terminator. It's not going to start murdering people, is it?
I don't think it will, but I'm very intrigued to see what that is. Then there's also a Fortune NPC. They've got a player racing lounge, racing garage/lobby, and Valley Grand Hotel. So some other things for players that aren't necessarily in the racing to go check out and explore and see a little bit more about what that Cornucopias ecosystem might look like and have to offer. So racing isn't just for racing anymore. That's what I'm trying to get at, kids.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That was a great update.
Yeah, that's really exciting that they're going to have all that stuff going on at basically one time, right? They're going to try to roll it out like at the same time. Is that correct, Scruff?
Well, I don't know if all that will be at the same time. Okay, they've talked about rolling updates and things like that. But I will tell you this: a lot of these are in the final production mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About half of them, about 10 out of 18 or 20, are in the final production. Some others are in early production. One is in alpha testing. But the long and short of it is they may or may not come out at the same time, but we do know that at least a handful of them seem very, very close to being ready.
Excellent. Yeah, that's You know, I had just
Man.
I was thinking something on the side as I'm looking at these icons on my phone here. You know, if say somebody like Seven, right, becomes, you know, super famous doing what he's doing with Cornucopias and everything, maybe, you know, his stuff online. If he took a wrap or took a skin, whatever, a wrap that's yellow with his face on the front of a javelin and minted his own, you could start your own like custom one-off javelins and sell them for a really good amount of money. I think. I don't know where I was going with that, but I was just thinking about that because I was looking at that big bright yellow icon. So imagine having a javelin with a big bright yellow javelin with
Just Seven's face everywhere. I dream about it too, Stein. You know
Wait
how
a
to
minute.
do it.
He already made a video like that where his face was everywhere.
Yeah,
So I think that's a great idea.
that was my favorite video. I love that video.
I want
That was
7 on my hood. That's what I want. Wait, that
Seven
didn't
on
come
the
out right.
hood. Put them on
that
the
could
glass.
be a new song. There you go,
No.
7.
No,
That's your new song.
Wasn't
7
it-
on the hood.
wasn't there
His face popping out of the hood. We in the hood.
Well, you can get car washes.
And then he could have it on a hoodie.
You can get car washes. Right? What was that rap? Put them on the glass.
Hey, I would love to talk a little bit, if it's okay with you guys, a little bit about that upgrade shop.
Yeah, that's
man.
where I wanted to transition to next too, because that's something that I was really excited to get confirmation for. I think it adds a lot of depth to the game, especially to like a racing game. What is a racing game if you can't aspire to, you know, upgrade and make bigger and better vehicles? So this is super exciting to me. I really hope that these upgrades translate into like the metaverse too. You know what I mean? Like if I'm out here tricking out my bubble jet for the course, hopefully it still keeps those aesthetics and performance enhancers when I'm out just cruising through the meta. What are your thoughts on that, Scruffy?
I would be extremely surprised if they did not translate. They've talked about, you know, wanting things to be seamless from one to the next. I think if you put a giant spoiler on the back of your bubble jet in the racing area, I think that when you go, you know, toting your corn around from sector to sector, you'll have that giant spoiler.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I right after I asked the question, of course, I remember something else again, and I've made videos on this before. They're going to be dynamic NFTs. So absolutely, the NFT itself is going to change. So it's a lot to wrap your head around, man. Even if you read the Kopi Wiki all the damn time, you know, you forget or you get caught up in something else.
Yeah,
Well,
once it's baked in, it's baked in, right? So
way to use technical terms. These are going to be baked NFTs, you guys. If you add new ingredients, you keep bringing it back to food.
I was about to say, it always comes back to cooking, doesn't it? It's got to be.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just kidding. Number love.
Yeah, well, while you're frying around the course, you know.
I was gonna say, whose name is Freiler?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Have you had a problem with writing out his name or something in chat and it tries to autocorrect? It's not Freiler. It's not Freiler. It's Fryer. Fryer. His name is Fryer.
Oh yeah, that happens
Fryer
all the
Tuck.
time.
That's what you should name yourself, Fryer Tuck. Yeah.
Trier for. Oh wait, no, that's not great for work.
Let's see if we can bring somebody else up. See if anybody else wants to come up and talk about anything, because us three can go on for another 2 hours. So if anybody wants to get their hand up and come up and talk
I'd
about
like
racing.
to throw a question out there. Maybe we can get some more people up here. What kind of upgrades, A, do you think they will have? And B, would you guys like to see in the game?
Oh, yeah.
Well, since not everyone's talking at once.
You guys are tired of hearing from me by now.
Well, that's
well,
okay.
Well, let's not come down this rabbit hole. Everyone's probably sick of listening to us by this point, but let's not pull at that thread.
Yeah, you go ahead first, and I'll tell you.
Bubble jet.
And I'll tell you what I think. I think it's going to be performance based, a lot of it, right? Right.
Well, I'm just trying to say, like, how trick are they going to get? Like, is it going to be engine, flywheel, brakes? You know, you have these other racing games And this is a little different because we have hovering vehicles, right? So you're not going to have tires, okay? But there's some games that get very, very granular into the parts, and you can upgrade every little part, and each one gives you a 3% or 5% at each level increase. That it gets a lot to manage on the back end for one, although it does make things super cool. And they've already talked about having like different instrument panels for different vehicles, which I think is interesting. But do different vehicles have different parts? I mean, you've got something that kind of looks like a bike, and then you've got something that kind of looks like a car. So anyway, go ahead. I'll shut up and hear y'all.
I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be too hard. I mean, say you get an instrument panel. Say you want to do some stuff that doesn't cost a lot of copy or gold or whatever the currency is going to be to purchase ADA, whatever. So, like, say I got my instrument panel, but I want it to glow blue or I want it to glow red. That stuff is easily done just by changing a hexadecimal number. So that stuff, they've been working on this goddamn racing game forever. So I think that's going to be a big thing that they're offering because, first of all, it's going to make your vehicle worth more if you put more money into it. And they may come out with rare items that, who knows, maybe they'll even have it. So if you buy something, it'll be the 5 rarities that you'll end up.
Well, and
end up minting by.
When are we getting the freaking lighting kit?
I don't know.
Man.
Yeah, what happened with
that?
Ready
Out
for
around
that.
Christmas, right? And we hadn't gotten squat. And so I'm sitting there. Again, this is a bold prediction. It's not really bold, but it's a prediction.
Bold.
I believe we will get the lighting kit shortly before the racing, probably within the next month or two. I don't know. They haven't put the marketplace up yet on the website, but I do know they're working on it. And I read there was something about that in the dev update. And so what they generally like to do is they like to throw out a smaller mint to test everything, right? And so before they get into, say, an OG mint, and I don't know, they may have other stuff, they may have, custom pedals or, they may have some other small stuff. I don't know. But I know that they've got that one waiting in the wings because we've seen artwork for it. Matt's posted, some really slick design artwork for the lighting kit. And I got to be thinking it's got to be relatively soon. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay, here's a hot take. I agree.
Oh, there we go. Can I ask?
Thank you.
Can
they
I
don't
ask,
call him the best color man on sports for nothing.
I
kids.
think they're working overtime. I just want to say something. I don't know if anybody else had noticed this, but on the last Kopi Cafe, we didn't have one last week, but on the last one, didn't Rob look like he was wrecked? Like he's just working. He looked so tired. Rob looked so damn tired. He must be. I
didn't notice.
You didn't know? Go back.
I did notice that. And
Yeah.
I've seen that a couple of times actually.
Yeah.
And I never know, is it a really super hard week where they're cranking a bunch of stuff out? Or was it really like by the time they got a chance to film Kopi Cafe,
it was late at night.
Just late at night for him? Because they're like 5-6 hours later. So
right, yeah.
I like what you're doing, reading the tea leaves, and it very well may be true, but I'd never know.
Yeah, because he's usually upbeat and peppy. That's what I was thinking too. I wasn't sure if it was late at night where he was, and because if say Josh wants to do it and it's 8 o'clock at night for Josh, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning for him or 2, right? Because Josh is on the West Coast, so it's what 7 hours difference. So yeah,
Josh is in
Pacific
Austin.
time. Oh, I thought he was in Colorado.
No, that'd be Central.
Okay. So
No.
he's in. All right. He's
Well,
only
and Colorado is actually Mountain Time.
Oh, jeez.
but
Look at me.
It didn't really matter. Yeah, there is definitely a
Time
5,
difference.
6, 7 hour difference.
Yeah. So he could have been doing it late at night because I know that they were really busy and they weren't able to do it. And then they didn't do one last week because Rob was at some convention or not a convention, but
Crypto AM.
yeah, something. He was doing something. So, but yeah, they must be going crazy over there they've
definitely been balls to the wall. I mean, you mentioned they've been building the racing game for forever, and I get when we're waiting on something, you might think that, but I'd almost counter that point in saying that they've built it really fast. Like everything that they've done, I feel like has occurred in a short amount of time.
I think it has to do with getting the people in here that can run these UE5 engines, and I think that UE5 update, from what I've watched on YouTube, made a whole hell of a lot of difference for people designing in UE5. It made it a lot easier to do things. So, I think that may have helped them out a little bit to move things up a little bit quicker from what I gather from watching the videos and demonstrations of stuff that Unreal Engine put out about being able to do different things in the game, or to do different things in Unreal Engine, and to make it easier for the developers. So that
as with like anything, right? Having the right tools and then the people that know how to use them makes all the difference in the world. So, and it's obviously a very capable team.
Absolutely. I like the stuff. So, the design team, I mean, I've done graphic designs and stuff, but most of my stuff is Photoshop, just copy and pasting, putting things together and making them kind of look good. But I've never been able to draw a damn thing or does, anything like that. So to have these people, draw this out digitally, they probably do it on like a Wacom tablet or something like that, where they actually use a pen and draw on the screen, and to like come up with these designs for things are really, really interesting, especially for these vehicles. Can I ask you one? Let me ask you guys one question. I swear I saw it somewhere. This has really nothing to do with racing, but it does have to do with vehicles. Were they talking about something about owning those big transport vehicles?
They asked a which would you rather, right?
Yeah. So originally, they made some statements that made it sound like they would not be ownable, like they would be game controlled,
Okay.
like you might be able to rent them to ship and things like that. However, more recently, they did have a poll and say, which is your favorite vehicle? Based on all the information that I've been hearing through the grapevines and things like that, I have switched my position, and now I do believe that at some point they will be ownable. However, with us getting into racing, it may be a while before we see that, just because, they're going to be releasing racing vehicles, and they've got a lot on. If you guys go look at the of the dev update, I'm talking. I believe, and again, this is my personal opinion, just looking at all of the information that they've given us, but I believe that we may get 4 or even 5 new vehicles this year. And so that doesn't leave a whole lot of room for the transportation vehicle. I would guess that we'd be looking at the transportation vehicle, if it is in fact able to be player owned, closer to around the actual MVP game launch of the metaverse.
That would make sense, I would think.
PC version. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with those other vehicle assets, something that I was wondering, and maybe you've thought about this too, any of you, but I'm wondering if all of those are going to be vehicle mints, or are some of those just being foreshadowed, and those are going to be like the buildable in-game vehicles.
I think they're going to be minting. Everything they've done is a mint, right? So that's how they sell things. I don't know. That's how they sell vehicles. I believe it would probably be a mint.
I agree with Stein. I think they're going to mint all of those. Yes, at some point, will you be able to possibly build your own vehicles through? But I just don't know that those tools are quite ready yet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I don't think they're ready yet either. I was just wondering if they were just tossing them out there to get you guys thinking about them, but then they're not going to mint them.
I can't keep thinking about
the only reason I think that they might not mint them all is that the team's always been so concerned about not oversaturating the market, and not that I'm saying that it would, but 5 more vehicle mints in 1 year, I think would be leaning towards the oversaturation end.
Well,
I agree. In fact, when I saw that, I thought, man, that is a lot of vehicles. Now, what they might be able to do, okay, think about it this way. Last year they did 2 new vehicles, right? I halfway expected them to do 2 new vehicles this year, right? And I don't have the supply numbers in front of me, but let's just say they were going to do combined between the 2 vehicles, they were going to do 50,000 vehicles. That's probably way off, but I'm just saying. If they were to do 5 mints, theoretically they could do 10,000 of each. And that means the total supply would stay the same, but people would have more variety. So I have no idea how they're going to do it, but I do know they want to protect against oversaturating the market. So
yeah. Well,
I'm sure they'll come up with some mechanism.
I think the big vehicle mints, like we were talking about, or I was talking about, or mentioning, or talking about, those won't be for quite a long time, because those will be for doing stuff for production of your land and things like that. And so that seems quite a ways away, probably 2024, I would think. That's not gonna, that's not happening this year. No way, I don't think.
The team's definitely expressed wanting to get people using the NFTs that they already purchased. So I can see, wanting to move more towards being able to use the land and stuff next versus trying to give us another vehicle that wouldn't be usable till sometime way in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think
because you'd have to have so many mechanics in place before you're harvesting fuel like that,
Yeah, because you're going to have to, even to build things, if they're going to go the way they want to, you're going to have to, get your farms going, get your mines going, get your smelters, all that stuff going, and that's going to take a long time. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. I don't know the dynamics on the speed of how you can do those things. It could be very fast, but you could upgrade very fast in those. But I don't see the big vehicles coming out. I do see the police car coming out. What the hell is that all about? What the hell is a police car all about? Are we going to get ticketed? What's going on there?
All I know is I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't feel this. I'm kind of like on the police car. I think it's going to be more like next year, like you're talking about the transport. Yeah. But I would love to race that police car in the racing game. I think that would be sweet, dude. You're going down the track at 900 kilometers an hour with the sirens blazing. Oh, how sweet.
Well, the front of that thing looks like a GTO. Doesn't it look like an old GTO, the front of that thing, with the headlights slanted forward? I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking a Cadillac. But
maybe a Cadillac. Maybe that's what I was thinking about. But I was thinking something obviously from the 60s.
There was a time back when there wasn't a lot of information out on what the next OG mint would be, and there wasn't a lot of information about the police vehicle itself. It was right after they teased it, and in the Kopi Wiki, they talk about how the old guard is going to serve as, kind of like the cops inside the game, and now I think it's going to be NPCs that are filling that role. But there was a time when I thought the next OG mint would be that police vehicle, and I was super excited for it.
Well, that's not a terrible idea. That could be the 2024 OG mint. You never know.
That would be amazing.
But what are we going to do with the?
But I agree with you.
What can you do with it, though? Can you actually pull people over?
Pull people over. Give them tickets.
I hope it has a tractor beam on it.
I don't think so. I think
cavity search.
I think. Oh, nice. Jesus. How can you pull somebody over up in the air? That's what I want to know. Be like,
tractor beam.
Pull over, sir. I don't know. It's
just
fun.
like in Star Wars, a tractor beam.
Sir, do you mind stepping out of your vehicle?
Can you step
yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I don't know why they would actually need a police car, but I guess it's cool. Maybe it's just a one-off design. Somebody was just messing around designing it, like those old Lamborghini police car posters that they used to have. Well, I don't know. Well, you guys maybe not old enough, but they used to put make posters out of Lamborghinis, police cars, and stuff like that. So I don't know. Maybe it's a one-off.
As far as the use case,
maybe it's a pace car.
You're right.
Maybe it's a pace car.
Could be. But I originally my thought was, there's a lot of games where they have stealing or looting or thievery of some sort in the game. And you can go to people's houses and, if you try to grab their items, it's considered stealing. And then, some form of police come chasing after you. So I thought that could possibly be a use case. And then you got to kind of try and outrun the cops or something like that. I don't know, but it might just be purely for aesthetics, or it might be for actual law enforcement for people. I don't know. Can you walk up to somebody with your NPC? Can you just punch them in the face? Like, would that be? I mean, that'd be assault and battery, right? I mean, so yeah, the possibilities are limitless.
Yeah, bringing it back to salt. Now, how do you like your prime ribs? No, I'm just kidding. I think, I don't know. I don't know what the police car is going to be used for. I have no idea, but I think it's a really cool looking vehicle. I think it's one of the cooler looking vehicles, to tell you the truth. I think that's pretty slick looking. They also have that big tanker, the big bubble tanker. I think that one's for fuel.
The Atmos Skyrunner.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's right. Atmos Skyrunner.
Yeah. As far as the police vehicle goes, I know it's all speculation at this point, but I would enjoy it if they had added some aspects in the game. Now, I don't want it to be like Chris and Beck said, where like people are just coming into my farm and killing me and stuff like that, and he's got to go and do his weird stuff. But I do hope that it would make it more fun if there was some way to also do bad in the game to a certain extent, like build up some stars, get in some trouble, maybe go to jail, have to pay your way out. I don't know. But
or they could make you have to go to timeout, like you have to sit in jail for like an hour or something like that. Or you can pay the fine and get out. Yeah, I like that.
Maybe they'll have cow tipping.
Yeah, is that illegal technically? It's certainly immoral, but is it illegal? I can't remember.
I don't know. I just,
we used to do that in Texas.
Yeah, I think they. Yeah, I live up in the country up here too. They used to do that too. That's why I think that's why they put it in Tommy Boy. What a great scene that was. Cow tipping. If nobody knows what cow tipping is when a cow is sleeping, and they sleep standing up, and you push them over. Cow tipping. I think Peter will get on us for that, but.
Yeah, I think the cows get hurt. You might not want to.
Do they get hurt?
But do virtual cows get hurt when you push them over?
I don't know.
I mean,
does a virtual
cow mechanic they could build into the game, but I kind of that's going pretty deep.
Does a virtual cow make any noise if it falls over and there's no one there to hear it? I don't know.
These are good questions.
We're diving deep. We're diving deep, guys.
These are important questions.
We've been an hour and 15 minutes, and it's just been us three. Kaz came in for a few seconds and said something, but yeah, man, I think we're holding up pretty well.
I tried to throw out some questions that would elicit responses, but man, everybody's shy today.
The audience doesn't like when you call on them like that.
I know, right? Well, they're probably, none of them are probably even there. They're probably just like tuned in and then just threw their phone on their dresser and they're out doing stuff.
You know what? And if they did,
anybody in here, raise your hand. Somebody give us some hearts. If there's people in here, let us know.
They're probably at work because they have real jobs.
Oh man, I had a job.
Man. They're not all.
That's what they're all thinking. Like, sorry, we're busy Wednesday morning. Jackass.
I know, right? I'm sorry. Yeah, I had a job once. That's what I gotta say. I don't know how to. I gotta get money to buy a new PC. Maybe I'll play the game. I don't know. Hey, Scruffy, let me ask you a question. This has nothing. Well, I guess it has something to do with racing. I've been looking at, and I know they're not gaming and they're not really meant for that, but I have been looking. Have you seen the small form factor like Lenovo's and HP? I guess they're taking over that spot of, personal. Oh, what do they call them? We're like in a doctor's office. What are those things called when they have a computer like in a doctor's office?
Workstation?
Yeah, workstation. Have you seen those things now? They have little graphics cards and stuff in them, and they can play.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the deal with all those. Size doesn't always necessarily matter, right? I mean, you've been witness to the power of the Mac Mini. These are very similar. They've had the Intel NUC for a long time. It all depends on what parts you put in them. So anybody looking into one of those, it doesn't matter whether it's a giant, huge tower or a small, tiny one. You look at the specs, look at what graphics processor it's got in it. For gaming, graphics is a number one. look at your actual, CPU, central processing unit. That's kind of the next thing on the list, although not nearly as important as the graphics card. But yeah, in fact, okay, real quick, shameless plug. A little bit later today, I'm going to try and do a live stream where I'm testing a 3060 Ti to try and get an idea of how cornucopias may perform by playing some Fortnite. Fortnite is also done in Unreal Engine 5. And so I'm going to test some different levels and see how it reacts so I can try to get an idea, start at the 3060 Ti, and then based on power, relative power performance, I should be able to get a better idea of what the performance is going to be for cornucopias.
Will you be starting?
Sweet. I'm going to check that out.
Will you be tuning the graphics as you go? Are you going to be starting on
yes.
low graphics?
I'm going to start on make it hurt mode. Yes, I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to make my GPU cry, and I'll probably get like 2 frames a second. We'll turn it all the way up to 11, and then we'll kind of back our way down to see how high can we have it and still have it running good performance-wise.
Are you sure that's a good live stream? What if your computer just shits to bed right there?
Well, then we'll start another one.
Shouldn't you start from the beginning and work
maybe
your
I ought
way
to
up?
start from the bottom. Yeah, maybe I should. Maybe I should go the other way.
Okay. Scruffy was live streaming for 48 seconds. What a great live stream.
Yeah.
All right, ready, guys? Here we go. Oh, blue screen.
You know what? You bring up a good point. I just assumed that it would maybe just do 2 frames a second, but could crash. So maybe we'll go bottom to top.
Yeah,
bottoms up.
Yeah, work from the bottom
bottoms up.
Right. So that way, people with. I think that's a good idea. And if you guys haven't seen Scruffy's, I know probably a lot of you have, but if you haven't, well, you got to watch Scruffy's video on the PCs. What you're going to need. For
PC requirements.
Yeah, PC requirements. That was a really good, and that just came off in the latest release of Cornucopias. So those numbers are still correct, and a lot of people really worry about, I think, how the game is going to react and how much power you're going to need. But I think computers are very powerful now, and I don't think you need to spend $3K on a computer. I mean, you can. You can spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a computer, but I think you could, Linus Tech Tip does it all the time. You can build a gaming PC. He tries to build them for under $500. So I don't think.
Well, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. It all depends on how big you are into the graphics and like I said, your monitor. But I've already done some cursory testing, and I will say I have been surprised. I'll just say surprised. I'm not going to tell you if I was pleasantly surprised or negatively surprised, but I'll save that for the stream. So if you guys, I'll shoot out a Twitter post, and I'll do something in, the Discords and let people know. But
and we'll
should be interesting.
If you're not following Scruffy, follow Scruffy on Twitter, and we'll retweet that for you, Scruffy over here, Corn Mafia Guild.
Thank you, sir. It's all in the interest of science for the community.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're running out of. We're actually running out of time, man.
Wow, we made it. You know, I tried to suggest Cornucopias racing as several topics. I've got my mojo back now. Now I don't feel bad about suggesting topics again.
Oh, you suggested this before? I don't know. I didn't.
Like 9 times. We kept being like, "What are we going to talk about for an hour and a half?" And
I don't know, man. Did you put it in Tascade? I didn't see it.
He's not in Tascade.
He is in Tascade. He's in Tascade.
Oh, you guys have Tascade together.
Yeah, we have Tascade
we have it.
For Twitter.
He gave it to me, and now I have it.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I've been on vacation here for a little over a week and a half, so I haven't really posted anything on it. So, but it is what it is. I thought last week we had a pretty good Twitter space, and it went pretty well. So. This one I thought went pretty well too. I mean, if Scruffy wasn't here, it probably would have been not too good. But if you guys are listening, or you want to re-listen or stream it to somebody else or give it to somebody else, we put these on YouTube. And I like it when Scruffy's like the official honorary guest co-host, because we get to put his forehead up on the thumbnail. And if nobody
That was great, by the way.
if nobody gets that joke, is because it comes from Seven and I's 2-week links interview channel that we do anytime somebody mentions Scruffy, which was happening quite a bit there. We pop his
Wasn't
head
it the
up.
first 3 interviews? all 3 guests mentioned Scruffy.
Yeah, everybody mentioned Scruffy, so I was like, man, we got to put Scruffy's head in here. So I found a photo of Scruff, and I think it was from CNFT Con or something like that. And I cut it out in Photoshop and made a little animated thing for it. So
The moral of the story is Scruff is always lurking.
Scruffy is always there.
You're only ever one connection away from Scruffy.
I was trying to find some interesting photos where I could like have you come in from like the top or the side, but they didn't look right. So I just like, all right, he's just coming up from the bottom. Scruffy. Boop.
See, you should have talked to me. I've got stock photos of myself for my thumbnail.
It was
I've got them
supposed to
from
be
the right.
It was
from the
supposed
left.
to be a surprise, man. It was supposed to be a surprise. So
Yeah. No, it was good. It was good. I like it.
I had to make a whole scene. It's a whole scene now. So I just drag and drop it in. So when somebody says Scruffy, it's just Scruffy, drag drop. It's already loaded. But I'm switching to DaVinci Resolve, so I have to remake a lot of these cool things. You know.
Oh, by the way, version 18.5 just dropped the DaVinci Resolve, and it's got some really cool new features.
I saw that.
I guess time to update.
Let me ask you a question. Do you own it, or did you purchase it, or is it?
No, I'm using the free version, baby.
Yeah, because I was thinking about doing the purchasing.
So I don't have I don't have some of the AI features that are in there. Those are one of the few ones that I would kind of like to have. I can't quite justify spending $300 just for that, but I mean, it's a phenomenal program whether you get the free or the pro. I would suggest always try out the free for a while, right? And then once you learn it and you get used to it and you're like, yeah, I like this, I'm going to do this. If you want to do more, which it lets you do like 90 to 95% of the stuff. Yeah. So if you get to that point and you want to do more, then get it. But I would try it out for free first. Yeah. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I find it awesome. I really like it. It's so easy to use. But we're getting down here to 3 minutes left, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and I have a 1 minute outro. So we got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Any Fryler, you want to say your goodbyes now, man, or?
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. As always, it does not go unnoticed. You guys are why we're doing these. So thank you for sitting tight during this bear market. I know things are a little slow right now, and everyone's calling doomsday on NFTs, but that's all bullshit. And, the next bull is just around the corner. We'll be back before we know it. So thanks again, guys. Thank you, Scruffy. Thank you, Stein.
Yeah, man. Scruff, you want to have a little outro there for you, bud?
Just echoing everything he says. We're all going to make it. Life is good. We got gaming, real live gaming coming at us very soon. And yeah, check out the stream a little bit later on, you guys. And thanks for having me.
That's going to be on Scruffy Live 365. That's on YouTube. If I got that right, did I get that right, Scruff?
That is correct.
Okay. And we got.
Or you can search for Scruffy Live. Yeah, you just search for Scruffy Live, Scruffy Cornucopias. They all come.
Yeah. Yep. And Fryler's.
Definitely throw in the Scruffy Live or Cornucopias, because Scruffy will get you a couple people.
Yeah.
That's an entirely different website.
And,
that's not safe for work.
Yeah. If you want to check out Fryler's channel on YouTube, it's called Cryptorama. And these links are down in the description below. So if you guys are here to the end, that's what it is. And I'm going to say my goodbyes. And I just want to thank everybody who showed up today. And I wanted to thank my buddy Johnny. He was listening down in Miami. He's not into gaming so much. Actually, he's into gambling. So he's gambling right now. So I wasn't able to listen. But he stopped in a little early, and I wanted to give him a shout out, and I wasn't able to before he tuned out. And I want to thank everybody who showed up. I want to thank my co-host, Fryler, and Scruffy, the honorary co-host of the day and who saved the day. And we were talking about Scruff earlier with Seven, who was like, well, if Scruffy comes in, he saves the day. And he actually did save the day today. So thanks, Scruff. I just want to say thank you.
One of these days, I'm going to freak you out, and I'm going to not show up, but I'm going to log in under a different profile name and listen.
Oh,
Don't you dare.
That's all right. That's all right.
Don't you dare, buddy.
Well, Seven's not here. He's already left, but let's listen to his wonderful voice. Thanks, everybody.
This has been a Corn Mafia Guild Twitter space with your hosts, Stein and Freiler. Please join us every Wednesday at the same time, 5 p.m. UTC. We would like to thank all of our guests for their insights and input on today's topics. We also would like to thank all of you, our listeners, for taking time out from your busy day to join us. A full audio version of this conversation will be provided on our YouTube channel. You can find out more about the Corn Mafia Guild at our website, cornmafiaguild.io. So, until next week, thank you again, and have a great day.